up, everybody? Welcome to Joker's Lounge here. It's officially his, honestly. If he asked for it, I'd give it to him.
Whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants. Anything.
He can have the whole company.
This is Joker's flannel, Joker's hat, whatever he wants.
Literally whatever he wants. So, guys, Jokic, what are we in? Year 6 now? They've all been bangers. They've all been fantastic. Hard to argue which one's your favorite one. Like, you could make a case for pretty much every single one of them, I would say. But maybe this one's even better than that.
Maybe.
Let's take a look at what he did last year. Looking at the numbers here, these numbers are so
Those
sexy.
are good numbers.
I love that it's 19.99 points. Yeah, just absolutely frustrating. He probably did do
just
that.
Didn't want to average.
Yeah,
20.
he does grab just about 10 rebounds, 7 assists, so nearly a triple-double. The three-point percentage, though, look at him bricking left and right. Doesn't matter. He still shoots 60% true shooting. What sticks out to you, Vote?
I'm going to go right to that three-point percentage because I think that is the easiest thing to circle and say if you expect a better year from Yoke, one way he can just forget the leadership and the leading by example, like actually on the court, one way he can improve. He is not a 31% shooter from deep. When the games matter, when he's in the playoffs, he is a 40+% shooter. So it doesn't have to be 40 in the regular season, but can he get that closer to 36, 37? If he does, I think it unlocks for their offense, and he finally definitely gets over that 20-point-per-game hump.
Yeah. And if the bubble was any indication on what type of shooting numbers we might see in empty arenas without crowds where there's a little more of a practice feel, that percentage could be higher, which means, maybe he's hitting one more 3 a game. His point total could go up. So I think we could see a higher 3-point percentage this season.
It is funny. I mean, that is the one number that sticks out to everybody because it is like abnormally low, especially when you think about Jokic as being like, I think of him as a 3-point shooter.
Right.
If I were to have guessed, I would have thought, at minimum it would have been 35%. So, and like you said, Vo, I mean, we've seen it when it counts, when the pressure rises. So does Jokic's game. I absolutely anticipate that number going up.
That number, but also the true shooting, and a couple things on this. And we've seen one preseason game with him, but getting to the rim and just finishing at the rim because the team is spread out a little bit more, because he has this extra pep in his step. I wouldn't be surprised if the 3-point percentage goes up and that drags everything else up, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's living at the rim more than he has in the last couple of years. And I think back to that second year, Jameer Nelson on the team, him breaking out, team's not quite Gallo's on the roster, who I think is similar in a lot of ways to Michael Porter. You provide that extra spacing, and next thing you know, Jokic is offensive rebounding every play, pick and roll, rolling to the rim, floaters, just always around the basket. And if you could put him there, that true shooting percentage could go up. I think 64% was what he did that sophomore season. That's his best. Last year was his second best.
Yeah.
I could see it back up closer to that sophomore year.
I could even maybe also see the assists go up too.
For sure.
7 assists, which we know is a crazy number for a center, but we're just so used to him posting those assist numbers, we don't even bat an eye at it. But all the talent he's got around him, he has never had this much offensive talent around him before.
Right.
So he'll probably have to do a little less individually if he doesn't want to. The assist numbers could go up.
Do you think Jokic wants to take threes? When we were talking about threes, do you think he wants to up the 3-point? Because in the playoffs he always does.
I think because in the playoffs, there's just something clicks for him where he knows he can do this.
Locked in.
He's locked in. But I wouldn't be surprised if, does Jokic really just want to bang down low all regular season long? Does he want to get a lot of shots up? If he's in a really, really healthy offense, maybe he might be comfortable being a spot-up guy and a guy who is just getting other guys' shots.
Yeah.
I don't know if he...
I think he wants to take them if they come as a result of good offense, Yeah. Like, if the Nuggets have a good possession and it ends in a wide-open 3 for him, yes, he wants to take it. If the 3 comes at the beginning of the shot clock, no. It's not, quote-unquote good offense. They don't move the ball around. They don't really get a healthy possession. He doesn't want to take those.
Eric, what's most likely to go up, points or assists for Jokic this year?
Assists. Absolutely assists. It's and that really comes as a result of both Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. hitting shots, like getting those kind of cheap assists by Jokic's standards, where you just throw a ball to an empty or to a wide open three-point
throw the
shooter.
ball to the rim.
Yeah, but like you throw it to a guy and he hits the shot. How many times do we see Nikola Jokic hit a guy completely wide open from behind the arc and him just brick it, not make it, which would have been an assist that he didn't get. So to answer the question about whether or not he wants to take more threes, I don't think so. Like I don't I don't know what motivates Jokic outside of like
Good question.
from a point standpoint, from a production standpoint.
No, I don't
other
think
than-
any of that stuff motivates him, to be honest.
Yeah, like I
any
do know that
benchmark.
the one thing he talks about all the time is that he loves that an assist makes two people happy and points only makes one person happy. He says that all the time. I think he.
Do you
really
think he's
truly believes
unhappy
it.
when other people score without an assist? Do you think it makes him not happy?
Unassisted points.
Unassisted points.
I
he's
think.
like,
I mean, I see.
I'm not happy for this.
I see him get upset visibly on the court if somebody takes a weird unassisted
Well, that's true.
shot that shouldn't have been taken.
But do you
in the
think
flow
if
of the
like
offense.
Murray passes to MPJ and MPJ scores, they're the only two that are happy, and Jokic is not happy?
No, he's happy because if it's good basketball,
That's it.
I'll just throw it under the label.
He
of
should have
good
said assist makes
basketball.
5 people happy. It's
Yeah.
really a better
If it's
phrase.
good basketball, he's happy.
He's a process guy.
Yeah, process.
And to be honest, it makes me happy too. So he can
It really
include-
makes millions of people happy. Like,
an assist makes millions of people happy.
Jokic
You're
He
right,
just
yeah.
passed the ball.
what are the odds, actually, Harrison, that he improves points, rebounds, and assists? All 3 of the main stats go up this year. His rebounds weren't that impressive last year.
Yeah,
They were averagely impressive.
Man, like 30%.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's on the table just because this Nuggets offense is going to be so damn good. I think this could be, and I will predict it to be, I think I have on these previews, the best offense of the Michael Malone era. Like they were really good in 2016-17. I just think they have more talent this year. They've got more offensive playmakers. I think their offensive ceiling is just higher. He could just, have his stats up just like everybody's might be.
So fantasy basketball players out there, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
That was a little sleeper pick for you, Nikola Jokic.
A decent offensive player. Decent offensive player.
Someone's like, "Oh, I'll write that down."
If
All
he's
right,
available.
let's hit the over/under, guys. We did this last year. We had the exact same line, but 72 games this year. Okay, 12 and a half triple doubles. I'll start with you, Eric. Rational fan.
I wonder where he's going with this.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going with this one.
Well, I mean, I probably have to go over. Like, if we're looking at those averages, getting so close to a triple double being averaged every year, and we're saying that the one stat that was really lagging on that was the assists at 7. We're thinking that'll go up. I mean, it just seems like naturally, Jokic, if he wants to get rebounds, can get rebounds. Jokic, if he wants to score points, can score points. The assists are the only ones that are reliant on another person to be able to complete the task for him. And I just think he has more able-bodied participants in that regard. And so I don't know. I imagine a lot more assists happening for Jokic, a lot more triple doubles.
What do you think, Vote?
I think it's over, and I think like 10 of them are 13, 13, and 13. Something around that. Like, and that's Yoke's dream basketball game, I would guess. So I think it's over that number.
I'll go under. And while I think his assists could be higher, I'm not sold on his rebounds being higher because you've got Michael Porter Jr. playing next to him.
Interesting.
For a majority of his minutes, I would say. And, maybe the minutes could be a tad lower as well. So I'll go under. I think he'll get 10, definitely, but maybe under 12 and a half.
I'm going over. I'm also a big believer in this, but I actually think that his points are going to see a little bit of a bump up, because the more I think about this, what you're actually giving him is more point guards. You're giving him more guys capable of giving
Everyone's
him
a
an
guard.
assist. So you're right that I think that he has a lot of weapons and he's going to have a lot of like triple double games.
Sure.
But I also just think there's going to be a lot of games where he finds 26 points for free and they fall to his lap.
A lot of his like reluctance to score is like a reluctance to force it, right? And
Right.
He's out
Right.
there.
But he
and
might not have
the,
to,
The
yeah.
paint's packed. Yeah,
He's
might-
going to get the shots that
The
he's
right-
not going to pass up.
right. The right
Yeah.
basketball play might just be him scoring.
Yeah.
My God, I hope this beautiful vision of the Nuggets that we have actually materializes, where we just see the potential for this. Like,
Well, I'll tell you what, it's
offensive
never happened.
firepower.
If you compare off seasons to seasons, we're always wrong about a good,
But
good
out of all the things we've speculated on, Jokic having a
we watched
great
last
year
year's. We were
is
pretty spot
probably
on.
the thing I feel most confident
Without
about.
without question. But
Yeah.
I mean, just the rest of the pieces around him working
Yeah.
together and being this offensive juggernaut that we all are envisioning.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys, we talk a lot about what this season, how the Nuggets can be better this season, and we okay, Bull or Michael Porter and these different pieces. But our big question for Nikola Jokic that we almost just always discount: how much better can he get? Because that's the one thing. I mean, he's not that old, 26 years old. We should expect that he is better this year than last year. And so, I mean, how close to peak Jokic have we already seen, Harrison?
he's obviously a great player. I still think there's a lot of room to improve.
Me too.
That's the thing, man. And I think there are parts of his offensive game, his defensive game that he can improve. The mental game, I think, is a big step that he can take and hopefully takes this season. The unnecessary Euro fouls, the body language aspect of this,
early returns not great on both of those.
Having better body language throughout a long regular season, I'm sure there's going to be up and downs. Stuff like that, the leadership, not losing his cool with officials. There's a lot of room for improvement there, I think.
Eric?
Yeah. The question for Jokic is, can he play like he does in the playoffs, or at least close to it, throughout the entire year? If he does that, I mean, we're talking about a very literal MVP candidate, and not like just in the running and thrown in there. Like,
actual
he
MVP.
could actually be the MVP of this league. That I believe that in my heart. That he's just so transcendently gifted. He has the right temperament. He has the right outlook. I mean, Nikola Jokic is a gift to us from the gods of basketball. I just can't imagine being more in on a player than I am in on him. And the sky is absolutely the limit for this guy, and it's up to him what he wants to do.
How's he better?
Look, I think even, at times we've overstated the extent to which Jokic isn't in shape. We've obviously all learned that. But it's also still the case that there's headroom. We've even just preseason game number 1, we all thought, he looks kind of quick and thin out there. So that helps a lot. I mean, it helps on the defensive side of the ball. I think it helps on I would imagine if he's feeling more fit, it would help with the consistency part from like the mental standpoint. He has the energy to be that guy every night. And then the body language is a big, big part of it for me. And I think it'll be a big part of this season. We've said it so many times. A lot of it's going to be about implementing Michael Porter Jr. And I think for Yoke, leadership is going to be, what did Barton say? Let Mike be Mike. Yoke's going to have to learn that that's not going to be the player Yoke wants him to be every day.
Yeah. I think the mental stuff is most of this, that kind of mental toughness, leadership, these types of things. But if we went to some tangible things he can improve on, we've already talked about the three-point shot.
Yep.
I think even in the post, he's already a super efficient post facilitator and post scorer. But I think he has the ability to become an even more dominant, forcing it scorer. And that's important because if you get a team that just can't guard you on the post and you have the confidence and ability to just keep going, you force them to overreact so hard that then you start to create even better opportunities on the other end. So I think those are some of the things that in my mind, I think he can get better at. Drawing fouls, getting to the foul line more as a part of this.
Shooting fouls
specifically. So I think those are areas. All right, now we're going to bring in the homie Miroslav from Serbia, coming to us live from Serbia. Miroslav, how are you, my friend?
Very good, very good. How about you guys?
Well, we're doing great, and we're talking about the big fella. We've been through a bunch of these, going through all the players, but now it's time to get to the. Somebody made fun of me for saying "fils de résistance." Apparently, it's "piece de résistance."
Yeah, it is.
But it's another faux word. I don't care.
I always assumed that was a reference. You really
"Fils de résistance."
That's awesome.
So here we are with the big fella, and my question is, he looks skinny. You told me he was going to gain 15 pounds. You've been wrong so far.
No. Let me go back to my interview back then. I didn't say he would gain. I said I gained 15 pounds in the first year of my marriage. I also said Nikola Jokic is a professional basketball player and he will not do that. The other thing that's really interesting to me is his wedding ring on his shoelaces, on his shoes, that everybody saw. And I have to tell you one thing. The reason Serbs are really big on wearing wedding rings. So we really like to wear our wedding rings on our finger on the right hand, not the left hand, but the right hand.
Okay.
And as you can see on my right hand, I'm not wearing my wedding ring.
Okay.
The reason
Are you a
for
free
that
agent?
is the reason for that is I'm too fat to wear my wedding ring. It doesn't fit on my hand anymore. So I was, properly married for my first 3 years, and then I got too much fat, and I had to take it off before they need to cut my finger off. So So this is not the reason why Nikola is wearing his wedding ring on the shoelaces. The reason is actually it's very dangerous for a guy that makes a dunk once a month, to do it with a wedding ring on because he could lose his finger. So this is why he's doing on his shoelaces.
Well, I find it very
I also
sweet.
don't think you're not allowed to play with.
Yeah, you're not. But it is very, very sweet of him. So, all right, I'm curious what you think. You usually have pretty good insight to the big fella. What do you think we're going to get out of Jokic this year, and what might be different from years previous?
Yeah, I saw a really good take from my friend Voya on our Discord channel for the DNVR members. If you're not subscribed to DNVR, just do it right away because of the DNVR Discord, because it's wonderful. It's the best possible chat for the Nuggets. And Voya said one thing which is very interesting. We know that November Jokic is not 100% Jokic. But you know what? We're not getting November Jokic this year because we're starting almost at the New Year's. So if you remember last year, January Jokic was pretty fucking awesome. So if you think of it, we might get a couple of games of 85% Jokic. But after that, listen, big thing also is we only have 72 games. So all the games are proportionally much more important than in a normal season. So we will get the really, really good Jokic from almost day one, maybe not day one, but almost day one, and we will be very happy. And another thing, we've seen a lot of polls about who will be the number one scorer for the Nuggets this season, and every year we say it will not be Jokic.
Right.
And you know what? Every year he is.
Right.
So if I have to make one take on his season, he will be a number one scorer again.
I love it. Nobody's picking him. Almost nobody is picking him to lead the team in scoring. It's really interesting.
Well, because does Jokic want to lead the team?
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But he's so good, and when you put more good players around him, he gets easier shots too. I mean, these things work two ways.
He didn't want to be number one scorer for the last 3 years, and he was.
Sure. It just happens. These are good points.
Everything is the same this year.
Yeah. So what do you make of him showing up? I mean, you've seen pictures of him. He showed up to the bubble. He's looking incredibly thin. He shows up to this one after 2 months off. After getting married, he looks incredibly thin. I have a theory. It's that fat Jokic is gone. It's not coming back. I mean, maybe it comes back in 6-7 years, but I think that Jokic has a new appreciation and understanding for what he needs to do to keep his body this way, and he's committed to it.
After all this time, I have a theory that Fat Jokic was an experiment. It wasn't him being loose, on the off season. He was just experimenting with a different weight just to see how he will, have his runs on his opponents. So I think he figured out that he probably knows what's his optimal weight right now, and he will be sticking to it for sure.
I got to say,
I'm pretty confident.
I'm going through the same experiment myself right now, seeing what my best basketball watching weight is. And,
this is a good weight. That's a good weight for you. You're really good efficient.
You really want to be able to move the couch around.
I love it. It's like we all know the regular season is about experimentation. Why not experiment what type of weight you play best at? I'm with it.
Well, so tell me this, though, Miroslav. In which way, is there a specific way in which you predict he will be better this year than in years past?
Well, his scoring will be pretty much the same. Maybe he will jump to 21, not more than that. And I think having Michael Porter in the starting lineup, hopefully, will bring his assists to like 8.5, closer to 9. And even though I think his rebounds will drop a bit to maybe 9.5 because of the Porter effect, I think we will have less of those, 2 shots a game matches this season. So he will become even more consistent, even though you can say that he is, Mr. Consistent comparing to almost any other player in the league. So him being even more consistent and maybe putting a bit more points on floor, it will make him, evolutionally better than last year.
Mm-hmm. Well, consistency is good, and nobody is more consistent than my guy, the homie Miroslav.
Homie,
He brings it every single
100%
time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, man. This was great insight on our boy Jokic. Let's go to a bold prediction now. Let's make some bold predictions for him, and let's see who's first on this one.
Oh my God.
It's vote.
The Giggler?
Vote you. What's your bold prediction?
Yeah, career high in assists per game.
Love it.
Sticking with my theme of absolutely not bold at all. I think that I'm not even going to explain this one. We've said it like 3 times on the show. He has more weapons. He's going to have more assists.
Yeah.
Bold.
Yeah, you guys need to realize not to like shoot your wad.
Well,
or
with
too
the
early.
Greg Whittington one too, I
You said the
overcorrected.
phrase "shoot your wad" on these previews
3 times.
A lot of, well, you guys keep shooting your wad. You
Little
keep
too
shooting your wad.
cavalier.
Earmuffs.
with those
All right,
rods.
so mine is I think this is going to be far and away Jokic's best season. Far and away.
Far and away.
Far and away. I'm telling you guys, I was saving this take until we did this show. I've been wanting to say it for a week publicly. I'm saying it for the first time. I think this year will be so much better than previous Jokic seasons that it'll almost be non-comparable. It won't be like,
Wow.
I can't remember, was he better? No, this will be the, to date, quintessential Nikola Jokic season. I think we're getting a banger from him,
I'll tell
guys.
you what, I'll take it.
He looks focused. He looks motivated.
Based on that first preseason game, man. Wow.
Don't even go that far. Based on the fact that he took 4 months off for quarantine, shows up in better shape than what he left.
Yeah.
Shows up, then goes through the bubble.
Exact opposite of me.
Then goes through the bubble. Yeah. Then goes through the bubble. Only gets 2 months off. Gets married. You think, oh God, all right, off the wagon. Like, well, I have to do this again. No, comes back even better shape. This guy, I think, has been on a motivational tear for 12 months, and it's culminating now with this guy that we see that looks like he is ready to take over the world. Best season ever.
Unbelievable.
Incoming,
Take over
baby.
the world. I'm very, very excited for James Harden to seize the mantle of the guy that's too fat in the NBA.
Love it. Love it. Very excited for it.
I think Yoke's odds, by the way, at MVP are plus 2,000. Might even be plus 2,500.
I'm going to get in on that right
Jump
now.
on that DraftKings Sportsbook. I think Jokic has the most efficient season of his career.
It's going to be hard to beat the efficiency of that sophomore season. Lower
Yeah.
usage.
And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, just the talent around him.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, Adam, he's going to get a ton of easy looks this
I think
year.
he gets
just
easy looks.
from the amount of playmakers, the amount of facilitators and guards. The amount of guards the Nuggets have on this roster.
A lot.
He's going to be in just a ton of awesome situations to score super efficiently.
We're high on Yoke, man.
Dude,
Let's see if Eric is also high.
I got to tell you, I'm getting like legitimately really excited. He's going to be top 3 in MVP voting.
Dude, this is disappointing.
Oh.
Because that's no, I'm telling you, I thought you were going to get especially bold on this one, but you said top 3. He's been there, done
He's
that.
done that.
I think he'll do it again. But I think he'll be top 1. I don't know. Like I think Nikola Jokic. I mean, the thing with Nikola Jokic is that he is always battling perception. That is unfortunately the way that the NBA works. You set your perception early on, and then you set it and forget it. Like as soon as people have it locked in, like that's what Nikola Jokic is. It's so impossible to root that out of people's brains. And you know, if we're talking about the awards given to the NBA players, like almost none of them follow exactly like what is being shown on the court. There's a lot of popularity and a lot of like
Controlling the narrative.
Yes, there's a lot of
Yeah, a lot
narrative
of that.
things in play, and so Nikola Jokic needs the correct exposure to be able to fight these narratives. I mean, the problem is that last year and years past, like when the Nuggets had the big stage, they would falter and they would look ridiculous, and then we felt bad about ourselves, and then we had to walk it back.
I felt really bad about myself after game 4 of the
I couldn't have felt worse about myself when I was like, I convinced my entire family to stop doing a puzzle, go and watch the Nuggets on Christmas, and then they got blown out by the Pelicans.
You're like, no, they're really good. I promise.
they were
boring and lethargic.
And everyone looked at me like I was an idiot, and I couldn't refute it at all. So Nikola Jokic just needs to do it at the right times on the big stage. He has the momentum now. I think I'm going to change my bold prediction.
Oh, there we
He's going to
go.
be in the top 4. Oh, that's the wrong way. No, he's going to be the MVP.
Can I tell you something though about what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think it changed, man. Because you're
Yeah.
right. He should have earned everybody's respect 3 years ago. But I think he earned everybody's respect this year, man. I've
Yeah.
seen more
I agree.
Jokic haters that have reversed their narrative about him and said, hey, man, he won me over. Like, I can't even talk trash about this
How
dude. He
can
proved
you?
it.
Like,
you can. But that's what I'm saying. People still hold stupid opinions and corner
Entirely.
themselves. But he's so won people over that even those people have to be like, all right, I'll just take an L on this one. Cash out on this one. I'm not right. So in that way, he is primed that if he does have a good year, his MVP odds go up because I think voters are finally like, yo, this guy's for real.
Oh, I can't wait. I've literally, like, we might have to take a break here. I'm like way too excited to go on here for
The Joker, but he's the best.
He's
man.
the
the
best.
best. He
He's-
really
he's
is this
literally-
gift that was just given to the city of Denver.
I've said this, like, he's literally in my top list of favorite human beings on this planet. Like,
Yeah, you guys know my list of top people: Nikola Jokic, my mother, Denzel Washington. in
Denzel
that order.
Washington.
My
Definitely up
list,
there.
my list is Nikola Jokic, your mother, my mother, and Denzel Washington.
High five. All right, let's get out of here. Guys, if you want to see the premium portion of this, including George Karl, who, by the way, loves Jokic and has great things to say about him.
Who
You're
among us?
I would be
go-
very alarmed if George Karl did not like Jokic.
That's some hot
That would
takes.
be a red flag.
That'd be a red flag. Loves him. Has some great things to say about him. You're going to want to see it. So become a DNVR member. It's just $5 a month. You get a free T-shirt with it. It's basically free, and you get access to all the premium stuff that we do here at DNVR, including access to our DNVR lounge where you can talk hoops with people that aren't there to muddy the waters. They're there to have a good.
And also, those people love Nikola Jokic. Man, but still, my beating heart. We gotta take a little break. Yeah.
Let's take a break. Thanks, everybody.